So I am like streaming from two different locations, just letting you know. But same topic. Uh I just did my food haul. All right, so I haven't done one in a while on my YouTube, and this might be the first one I do here on Instagram. All right, so I usually try to have a theme for what I do when I meal prep because I don't know, it just makes things a lot easier. So this is all in spirit of meal prepping and making sure I have proper nutrition during the week. Because I don't want to spend my the bandwidth in my brain to think about what am I going to eat today for dinner or whatever. I'm just like, look, this is what's it. And for lunches as well. All right. So, I do have my grocery bag here. This I guess I'm gonna call it a season because right now I'm renovating my kitchen. I have I have an apartment for my brother, so it's not like I don't have a kitchen. So I'm over there meal prepping for the most part. Um, but I am at my house right now. So what I'm going to do is put some things away that I want to make sure that I have on tap, like the vegetable. No, the fruits. So he's going to get the oranges. He's okay with eating oranges. It's usually me. He likes lemons. So I get him lemons and oranges and apples. He has a cantaloupe over there right now. He already ate the watermelon that I gave him and the strawberries from yesterday. So on my end, I bought cherries. I have blueberries at my house. When I feel so inclined, I share my blueberries and apparently these cherries too because I got a lot of them. They're in season right now and they're probably like the end of the season. So, um, that's the fruit part of it. Um, so yeah, now when it comes to the other things, I this season, I guess in my food prepping, because I have limited use of my kitchen, I've decided I wanted more like handheld foods versus just a salad, which I like salads a lot. I really do. But I was curious about how can I make my some of my meals, not all of them, some of my meals where they're handheld in a sandwich form. So let me move this out of the way really quick. So yeah, so I was thinking flatbreads, right? So I don't support any particular brand, but this is the flatbreads that I use already. So it's a flour tortilla. Um, I don't eat too restrictively, only in that I need to also get back into my intermittent fasting. I used to do that a lot. Um, because of me being a caregiver to my brother, sometimes I, and this is going to change, I stretch out my window of eating until after he eats because I usually keep a lot of my food at my house, if that makes sense. So to change that a little bit to at least bring over my dinner and eat it there. He gets his medicine. I'm already done with eating for the day, afternoon, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's just me thinking out loud about how I do my food eating. All right, so the flour tortilla is for the sandwiches, I guess that's best way I can describe them that I make for lunch. I've also really gotten more interested in sprouts, eating sprouts versus just leaves, greens, that things like that. So I also am curious about maybe growing my own sprouts, but like I said, got to get the kitchen ready. If I could renovate, finish getting this kitchen together, there might also be a small greenhouse area situation. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. So yeah, so sprouts in my sandwiches. mushrooms in my sandwiches and in my dinners, um, in lieu of a meat product. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, so I used to have kiwi a lot in my salads, and I kind of stopped, and then I missed them. And so now I'm thinking, because my sandwiches are actually plant-based, they don't necessarily have to be completely savory either. Because I do tend to use like certain sauces, like well, I need to get a chutney. So I was about to say chutney. So I need to get a chutney or chow chow or chili powder paste, which I do have in pestos. And I have what else do I have? Hummus. So right now I'm using hummus, but there's other things you can use as a spread for your sandwiches, right? So there's that. So if I were getting portobello, which are definitely, if you cook them the right way, they do taste like meat. There's jackfruit, I think, for which I've also started picking up these already pre-processed things. I can't grab it from over here. So yeah, so that's what I use for my lunch sandwiches. But then now for the afternoon dinners, I'm right now, because of the season, I'm trying to cook whatever is, being harvested right now. So this week I'm doing zucchini because I see a lot of it being on sale. Zucchini and sweet potatoes and onions. Onion as vegetable. Okay. See, a lot of people don't eat an onion as a vegetable, which it is. And I've already started baking the sweet potatoes yesterday and some zucchini. I'm going to do the rest today with the onion because I was like looking for onions yesterday and I did not see one whole onion. So I'm going to bake the onion with garlic butter and zucchini and the mushroom. Okay. So it's going to be like a little, not necessarily a casserole, but kind of like a, little dish to eat. And then, like I said, I do have a chili paste that I can add to it for flavoring. So it's kind of like just like a little, I don't know, power bowl. That's the best way I can describe it for dinner. Um, so yeah, so those are my meals for lunches and dinner. I don't really eat breakfast because I get up so early. I do have them down here. Cucumber that I eat in the mornings when I get to work. So that, I guess, that is considered my breakfast, a cucumber and a whole cucumber because it's a fruit. Okay. All right. And then anything else, a lot of my nutrition is also liquid based. So I do have like supplements I take, tinctures that I add into my Bev when I get home. I do have one tincture at work that I use every once in a while. Yeah, it's just for wellness overall. But yeah, that's my food haul. Like, that's what I do for, staying nourished and energized and making sure that I have, like, good quality food at home waiting for me versus what I used to do when I was first started this job almost 11 years ago. I would just pick up something on the way home because I'd be so tired or whatever. And then next thing you know, you're eating unhealthy and then you're tired, then you're sick all the time. So I used to do it for lunches anyway, just meal prep, but now I do it for lunches and dinners. It just makes things a lot easier. So, and then on the weekends, that's when I do all the cooking. And then during the week, I just warm it up and there it is. Fresh food. Now, I do want to get a mini deep freezer, and I'm trying to decide, do I want it on my porch when I finally close that in, or do I want it in the kitchen? I don't know. A mini deep freezer to freeze all these summer foods that are, sprouting out here. I also want to get a juicer. I may even want to get a dehydrator. I don't know. So these are the things that I want to process my own fresh food versus going to the store. There's farmers markets that are so like plentiful of food. I can dry my food, freeze it, juice it and freeze it. There's so many possibilities, you know, with food, that you don't have to eat um overtly processed food, you know. Even maybe one day I'll learn how to grow my own mushrooms. I don't know. I definitely want to see. I do want to do a lot of my own like food processing. Just saying. All right, so yeah, let me get out of this vehicle. Take my groceries in. Um, Now when it comes to my brother, and I did get him a couple of other things. He is not plant based. And this is my understanding of plant based in general, y'all. So, plant based to me means most of what you eat is plants. Doesn't mean that you're vegetarian or vegan. It just means that most of what you eat is plants. Okay? I do still eat meat. I just don't eat it every day, and I just don't eat it for every meal every day. I just don't. Like, I can almost count on my hands how many times I had meat last week. Um, one like twice last week, and it was chicken and it was salmon, and that was it. So everything else, which I still eat lunches and dinners, plants. Okay. Now my brother, he is not plant based, so I went and got him some more eggs because I am going to make him some salmon patties later today. I might be taking home one or two myself because, like I said, I'm plant based. And I got him bacon. Yeah, and that was it. So, yeah, he still eats meat a lot. And he kind of needs it for his mental health. So, I could talk more about how the nutrients in meat support brain health. And I won't say he's thriving, but he's doing a lot better eating more meat in his diet versus me. I don't necessarily need a lot of meat in my diet. Okay. All right. So, yeah, let me get out of this vehicle. It's starting to warm up now. All right. See you later. Bye.